The desert evening was soft and golden as the Harley rolled into the truck stop lot. The engine cut off. Silence rushed in. Marcus Bull Henderson swung off the bike and straightened his back. Leather vest, tattoos on both arms, thick gray beard to his chest. Across his shoulders, the words, Hell's Angels Riverside. People stared, then looked away. A mother pulled her child closer. Two teens whispered near the door. A trucker watched him with narrowed eyes. Bull saw it all. He always did. He knew what they thought. Danger, trouble, stay away. He just wanted coffee. A cheap diner mug, something hot and bitter. Maybe a slice of pie to push back the long miles in his bones. He pulled off his helmet. The air was dry and cooling. For a moment he enjoyed the quiet. Then he heard it. Soft crying. Not a grown man. Not a drunk argument. A child. Bull turned his head. The sound came from the side of the building, near the dumpsters, where the lights were weak and the asphalt cracked. His first instinct spoke. Walk away. Do not get involved. You are a Hell's Angel in a strange town. Cops never believe your side first. Then the crying broke again. Shaky, panicked, lonely. His boots moved before he finished the thought. He walked along the wall toward the shadows. The smell of old grease and trash filled the air. He rounded the corner and stopped. A little girl sat on the ground behind a battered pickup. She looked 7 or 8. Dark curls pulled into a messy ponytail. Pink shirt smeared with dust. Knees pulled to her chest. In her arms, a small purple backpack. She held it like it was the only safe thing in the world. Her shoulders shook with every sob. Tears streaked her face. Bull dropped into a slow crouch a few steps away. He kept his hands low and open. He tried to look smaller, softer, less like the man everyone feared. "Hey there, kid," he said. "You okay?" Her head snapped up. Her eyes went huge when she saw him. Big biker, leather, skulls, patch. She gasped and pushed herself back against the truck tire. Her arms wrapped tighter around the backpack. "Do not come closer," she said. "Please, just go away." Bull nodded once. "All right. I stay here," he said. "Name is Marcus. People call me Bull. You do not have to tell me anything if you do not want to. But you are out here alone. That is not right. You lost." She stared at him, shaking. Her fingers dug into the straps of the purple pack. "I have to keep going," she whispered. "I am not allowed to stop." "Keep going where, kid?" he asked gently. "Riverside," she said. "To my grandma. I have to give her this." She hugged the backpack closer. Bull frowned. Riverside was far from here. Too far for a child on foot. "How did you get here?" he asked. "Where are your mom and dad?" At that, her face crumpled. Fresh tears rose. She shook her head. "He said I cannot tell," she whispered. "He said bad things will happen if I tell." Bull felt a cold weight settle in his chest. He had heard that tone before. Shelters, courtrooms, hospital waiting rooms. "Who said that?" he asked. "Who is he?" "My stepdad," she said. "Derek. Mommy married him after my daddy died in a car crash. He was nice at first." Then he started yelling, breaking things. He hit the wall next to Mommy's face. He threw stuff. Her voice thinned. Yesterday they were yelling again. Louder. Mommy told him not to touch me. I heard a big crash. Mommy screamed. Then it got quiet. Too quiet. "What did you do?" Bull asked. "I hid in my closet," she whispered. "I was scared he would be mad. I stayed there all night." She wiped her nose with the back of her hand. "This morning he came to my room. He said Mommy had to go away. He said she did not want me anymore. But that is not true. Mommy loves me." Bull's jaw tightened. "Yeah, kid," he said. "I am sure she does." "He gave me $20, the girl went on. "He said to walk to Grandma's. He said give her my bag. He said he has people watching me. If I tell police or anyone, he will know. He said he will hurt Grandma." Bull looked at the backpack. then back at her small, tired face. "What is your name?" he asked. "Lily," she whispered. "Lily," he said. "That is a good name. Listen to me. I think Derek is lying. He is not afraid for your grandma. He is afraid of getting caught. I need to see what is inside that backpack." Her whole body went rigid. "No," she said. "I cannot. He said never open it. He said he will know." Bull kept his voice calm. "There is nothing magic here, Lily. No spell, no tracker. Just a scared man using a brave kid. If we want to help your mom, if we want to keep you safe, we need to know what he made you carry." She bit her lip. Her eyes filled again. "You promise you can help?" she asked. "You promise you will not let him hurt Grandma?" "I promise I will do everything I can," Bull said, "but I cannot fight what I cannot see. Let me see the bag." The moment stretched. The sounds of the truck stop felt far away. Engines, distant voices, a clatter of dishes. At last, Lily's grip loosened. Her small hands shook as she lifted the backpack and held it out. Bull took it gently. The weight of it made his stomach turn. Too heavy for a child's things. He set it on the ground between them. He pulled the zipper open. He looked inside. His breath caught. His vision went hot at the edges. A raw sound tore out of him, half shout, half growl. He stared into the backpack, at what Derek had hidden there, at what he had used a crying little girl to move across the desert. Bull stared down into the open backpack. Stacks of cash, bags of white powder, a gun wrapped in a towel, all of it packed into a child's purple bag covered in faded unicorns. He closed his eyes for a moment. He forced his breath to steady. When he looked at Lily again, she was shaking. "Is it bad?" she asked. "Yeah, kid," he said. "It is bad. And none of this is your fault." She hugged her arms tight. Her little voice trembled. "Will he hurt Grandma now?" "I did not do what he said." Bull shook his head. "Derek lied to you. He scared you because fear keeps people silent. He is not watching you. He only cares about losing his drugs and his money." Lily wiped at her eyes. "He said he always knows," she whispered. "He does not know anything," Bull said. "Right now he thinks you are still walking. Right now he thinks he got away with this. But we are going to stop him." "How?" Lily asked. Bull picked up his phone. "We call for help," he said. "We call the police. We tell them everything. We make sure they go to your house. Your mom might be hurt. She needs someone now." Lily pushed back in panic. "No," he said, "if I tell the police he will hurt Grandma. He said he has people everywhere." Bull leaned in a little. "Lily, look at me." She raised her eyes. "You walked miles alone," he said. "You carried this heavy bag. You survived a night of fear. You are brave, braver than most adults I know. Now let me help you carry the rest." She stared at his patch. "Hell's Angels, Riverside." Her voice was small. "Are you a bad guy?" she asked. "Derek said people like you are worse than him." Bull let out a slow breath. "Some people look at me and see trouble," he said. "But a patch does not decide what kind of man I am. My choices do. And I choose to help you." She swallowed hard. "You promise," she whispered. "I promise," he said. He dialed. 911, the operator answered. "My name is Marcus Henderson," Bull said. "I am at the High Desert Gas and Diner off exit 47. I have a child with me named Lily. She was sent here alone by her stepfather after a violent fight at home. She is carrying a backpack with large amounts of cash, meth, and a handgun. We need police right away. We also need a welfare check on the mother." The operator asked for the address. Lily recited it softly. Bull repeated it. "Help is on the way," the operator said. "Do not touch the contraband." "I understand," Bull answered. "I will wait." He hung up. Lily watched him with wide, frightened eyes. "Are they going to arrest you?" she asked. "Not today," he said. "I am on your side. Remember that." He stood up and offered his hand. Come on, let us get you food and water while we wait. Lily hesitated, then put her small hand in his. Her fingers were cold. He guided her toward the diner. Inside, people stared. A Hell's Angel leading a crying girl and holding a backpack was not a sight they understood, but Bull ignored every look. He found a booth in the corner. Sit here, he said. She slid into the seat. He ordered water, fries, and a grilled cheese. When the waitress set the plate down, Lily took a bite as if she had not tasted food in days. Bull watched her eat. He could see how tired she was, how heavy the night had been on her small shoulders. His phone buzzed. He sent a quick message to his brothers. Kid in danger, cops coming, need eyes up. Minutes later, Razor walked in. Then Tank, then Chino, and Mac. They spread out through the diner, silent and steady. To strangers, they looked like a wall of trouble. To Lily, they looked like protection. Razor slid into the seat across from her. Hi, Lily, he said. I am Razor. Bull says, you are a tough kid. Lily managed a tiny smile. Bull leaned back and listened to the distant wail of sirens drawing closer. It was starting now. The part Derek never expected. The part where the people he underestimated turned out stronger than he imagined. The sirens grew louder as the patrol cars rolled into the truck stop. Their lights flashed across the windows, casting red and blue over the booths and counter. People inside the diner pressed closer to the glass. A few whispered. A few pulled out phones. Everyone stared at the bikers and the small girl in the corner booth. Sergeant Mendoza stepped through the door first. She scanned the room with quick, sharp eyes. Her hand rested near her holster as she approached the table. You Marcus Henderson? She asked. Yes, ma'am, Bull said. I am the one who called. This is Lily. She is the child I told your dispatcher about. Two officers moved behind Mendoza. One of them focused on Bull's vest. Hell's Angels. Riverside. He stiffened. Sir, step away from the child, the officer said. Hands where I can see them. Bull raised his hands slowly. I have a legal concealed firearm at my right hip, he said. I am not reaching for it. I called you to protect her. Lily slid closer to Razor, frightened by the sudden attention. Sergeant Mendoza crouched beside her. Lily, she said gently, did this man hurt you? Lily shook her head fast. No, he helped me. He gave me food. He called you. Derek is the one who hurt Mommy. Mendoza held her gaze, then nodded. She stood and turned to Bull. You said there is a bag, she asked. Bull gestured to the purple backpack on the seat. In there. I opened it once. I have not touched anything since. An officer put on gloves and unzipped the bag. He lifted out the cash, then the bags of powder, then the gun. The diner fell silent. A few people gasped. Someone muttered. She was carrying that, the officer said. Lily spoke up. It is not mine. Derek made me take it. He said he has people watching. He said he will hurt Grandma. Mendoza turned to one of her officers. Status on the welfare check. The radio crackled. Units are at the residence. Signs of struggle at the door. Officers preparing to breach. Lily covered her mouth. Bull tensed. Mendoza looked at Bull again. Your record? She asked. What am I going to find? Old charge? Bull said. Assault. 20 years ago. I served my time. I have been clean since. She studied him for a long second. She saw the patch. She saw the size. Then she saw the girl clinging to him with complete trust. CPS will meet us at the station, Mendoza said. We need your statement. We will update you on the mother's condition when we can. Lily's face broke. Do I have to go with them? Can I stay with Bull? Bull knelt beside her. They will keep you safe, kid, he said. Safer than I can right now. I will not disappear. I will check on you. She threw her arms around him. He held her gently. You kept your promise, she whispered. He nodded. Always. An officer stepped forward. Come on, Lily. We will ride with lights on. It will be okay. Lily let go of Bull and followed. At the door, she turned back. Bull lifted 2 fingers in a small salute. She tried to copy it. They both smiled. The door shut. The patrol car pulled away, lights sweeping across the lot. Mendoza faced the bikers. "All right, gentlemen. Statements now." She paused. "And for what it is worth, you did the right thing." Bull shrugged. "People judge the wrong story," he said. Mendoza nodded and stepped aside. The night outside settled again, quiet, warm, heavy with what had just begun. Somewhere miles away, a man named Derek was about to discover that his control was slipping. Justice was coming for him. Fast. The night felt heavier as Bull finished his statement in the small interview room. Sergeant Mendoza wrote down every detail. She asked clear questions. He answered each one the same way he found Lily, direct, honest, steady. When she closed her notebook, her voice softened. "You did more than most would," she said. Bull nodded once, just did what was right. Outside the room, he heard radios crackle. Voices moved quickly. Something had changed. Mendoza stepped out for a moment, then returned with a grave look. "We found Lily's mother," she said. "She was locked in the basement. She is alive. She is hurt, but she is alive." Bull closed his eyes for one long breath. "Is she awake?" he asked. "Not yet," Mendoza said, "but the doctors believe she will recover." "What about Derek?" he asked. "We have officers tracking him now," she said. "He ran as soon as the patrol car pulled up. He tried to take back roads toward the border. But we have his description and his plates. We will find him." Bull leaned back in his chair, his jaw clenched and relaxed. "He used a child to run drugs," Bull said. "He beat her mother. He thought no one would notice." Mendoza nodded. "We noticed," she said. A young officer rushed in. "Sergeant, we have him. He was stopped near the checkpoint. He tried to break through. We boxed him in." Mendoza nodded again. "Good. Bring him in." The officer left. Mendoza looked at Bull. "You want to stay until Lily hears the news?" she asked. "If that is allowed," Bull said. "It is allowed," Mendoza said. "She trusts you." They walked down the hall toward a waiting area where Lily sat with a blanket around her shoulders. Her hair was still messy. Her eyes were tired. But there was a flicker of hope there now. Bull sat next to her. "You found Mommy?" she asked. "Yes," Bull said. "She is safe in the hospital. She was hurt, but she is alive. She will see you soon." Lily let out a shaky breath. "Is Derek gone?" she asked. Mendoza stepped closer. "He is in custody," she said. "He cannot hurt you anymore." Lily nodded slowly. She leaned against Bull's arm. Her trembling eased. A nurse came to take her for a checkup. She looked back at Bull as she walked away. "You kept every promise," she said. Bull watched her go. His chest felt tight, proud, angry, relieved, all at once. Mendoza stood beside him. "We will need you at the hearing," she said. "Your testimony will matter." Bull nodded. "Anything she needs," he said. Hours passed. Papers were signed, reports filed. The sky outside shifted toward dawn. Finally, Bull stepped out of the station and into the cool morning air. His brothers waited by his bike. Razor crossed his arms. "Everything settled?" he asked. "For now," Bull said. "The real work starts next." Tank nodded. "We got your back." Bull looked toward the rising sun. He felt the weight of the night behind him and the weight of responsibility ahead. Lily was safe. Her mother was alive. Derek was in chains. Justice had taken its first step. And Bull knew one thing with quiet certainty. The man people feared had become the man a child trusted. 3 months passed. The desert heat returned. Life moved on, but Bull carried the memory of that night like a steady ember in his chest. One afternoon he found an envelope in the clubhouse mail. His name was written in careful handwriting. Inside was a drawing made with bright markers. It showed a tall man with a beard, standing beside a small girl. Both were smiling. At the top she had written, "Thank you for helping me. Signed, Lily." Bull stared at it for a long time. His eyes warmed. He placed the drawing on the wall of his garage, pinned above his workbench. It stayed there like a quiet reminder of what courage looked like. A second letter was folded behind it. This one was from Lily's mother, Rachel. "Thank you for saving my daughter and me. We live with my mother now. Lily is healing. She is talking in therapy. She is back in school. She tells everyone about the biker who helped her when she needed it most." Bull folded the letter and placed it in his vest pocket. He carried it like a badge. Word spread through the club. The brothers felt the story settle into them. Razor was the first to speak. "We can do more," he said. Tank agreed. Kids like her need someone in their corner. Soon the Iron Brotherhood started a small project. They brought toys to shelters. They donated school supplies. They worked with local groups that helped families escape violent homes. Bull never pushed the idea. He did not need the credit. His brothers simply followed the quiet weight of what happened that night. Every time Bull walked into his garage, he saw Lily's drawing. It reminded him that her trust had changed more than one life. It changed how he walked into rooms. It changed how people saw him. One evening, Razor stopped by the garage. He pointed at the drawing. "Hard to believe she carried all that fear," he said. Bull nodded. "Hard to believe anyone looked at her and saw a threat," he said. Razor leaned against the door. "And hard to believe people look at you and think you are the threat," he added. Bull gave a slow smile. "People judge the surface," he said. "They do not see the heart." Night settled outside. The garage lights glowed over the drawing. Bull felt a quiet strength rise in him. He knew he was not perfect. He knew the patch on his back told one story, but Lily's drawing told another. It told the truth. A man can choose who he becomes. A full year passed. The heat of the desert softened into late summer light. Bull rode toward Riverside for a community event he had been invited to. At first, he did not want to go. Crowds were not his thing. Attention was not his thing. But something in the invitation felt important. When he arrived at the park, families gathered under shade tents. Children ran across the grass. Food trucks lined the edge of the lot. Voices mixed with music from a small stage. Then he heard a familiar voice. "Bull." He turned. Lily ran toward him, taller now, stronger, her curls bouncing as she moved. She was not the trembling child from the truck stop. She was bright. She was safe. She threw her arms around him. "I missed you," she said. Bull knelt and hugged her gently. "You look good," he said. "You look happy." "I am," Lily said. "Mommy is doing better too. She says thank you every day." Rachel walked up behind her. She carried a calm strength that had not been there before. "Thank you for coming," she said. "I wanted to tell you in person. You saved our lives." Bull shook his head. "Your daughter saved herself," he said. "She walked miles alone to protect you. She is the brave one." Rachel smiled. "She is brave," she said. "But she was not alone. You stopped. You listened. That changed everything." Lily tugged at his vest. "I told my whole class about you," she said. "They said bikers are scary. I told them they are wrong." Bull let out a breath. Soft. Grateful. "Well, some of us try our best," he said. Lily took his hand and pulled him toward a group of children. "Come meet my friends," she said. "I want them to know the man who helped me." He followed, slow and steady, feeling something warm move in his chest. As the sun lowered behind the trees, Bull watched Lily run across the field, her laughter bright and free. He thought about how close the world had come to losing that light. He thought about all the people who saw danger where the truth had been begging to be seen. Most people judge by what they think they know. A patch, a beard, a glare, a rumor. But real character shows in what a person does when no one is watching. It shows in the choice to stop, to care, to protect. Bull walked back to his bike at sunset. The sky burned gold. His brothers waited for him on the road. Engines hummed in unison. Razor called out, "Back to the clubhouse." Bull nodded. "Yeah, let us ride." He put on his helmet. He looked once more at the park where Lily waved with a wide smile. In that moment, Bull understood something simple and true. Heroes are not defined by the stories others tell about them. They are defined by the stories they choose to write through their actions. And Bull had chosen to write a story worth remembering,